Hey guys, GaleForce Online, here to bring you a short video about my favorite anime, Log Horizon. So I will be doing some videos on the lead up to the Season 3 release coming in October. We're not sure if it's going to happen in October due to the state the world is in at the moment, but we're still keeping our fingers crossed. So until then, just drop a few videos explaining what's going on in the anime, explaining a few aspects about it. So this video is going to be around the world or the gaming world that they are stuck in. So they're in a game called Elder Tales, and the mechanics and physics of the world is mixed up with the mechanics and the physics of the game. So it just kind of really mashed together and just seeing how it plans out, and it actually changes as the series goes on. So firstly about the game, before the patch launch, there was a level cap of 90. Then the cap was increased on the DLC launch. Now, there wasn't any DLC patch notes, I assume, for this one, because there was a lot of changes that happened in the game that the characters were not aware of, or maybe they didn't read the DLC patch notes. So always read your DLC patch notes, guys. Anyway, moving on. So about the combat, they can't do it the same way they always did, so they can't use controls. They have to call out their attack names as they're coming up, so call up skills and stuff like light and heavy attacks and blocks. They need to simulate that with their body, so actually putting their body on the line during combat. Now the skills work a little bit differently, so you've only got Magicka points as a resource, so it doesn't have the two systems that we usually have with Magicka for Magicka builds and Stamina for Stamina builds. They just have the one resource bar, and their skills have cooldown time. So once you activate a skill, you can't just constantly spam it, so you need to work between your skills, which cooldown times are up quicker, which skills are working for the best situation, so a lot more strategic kind of than we used to. Alright, then death is also different in the game. So if you die, you then respawn at a cathedral, as they call it. So there's one in every major city. But you do lose experience points if you do that. And also you can lose loot. So whatever you don't have equipped on you at the time, you can actually lose and other people can take that from you. So it did start a trend at the start of the series where players would kill other players in order to get their loot, just to give themselves a boost in this new world. Alright, stuff like banks, guild halls, houses, all of that is a thing in the game, but they kind of changed it up with the mechanic that everything is purchasable. So if you look at the map, originally there was just a few houses purchasable, or you can buy guild halls and stuff like that, but now everything can be bought and actually does play a nice skill, or it plays a nice role in one of the future stories that they're telling. One of my favorite stories for the show. So there's also guild permissions, so you can let people in, certain people can't come in, certain things you can do, certain things you can't. So all of that is still adjustable in the new world. Alright, there's also no combat in town. They do have the royal guards going around, which are just really hard to kill guys. So like you have the town guards in ESO. Although when originally they still had health bars, they didn't have the immortal bar they do now. So you could actually drop the health down to 0, but they wouldn't die, they just keep staying there. But ESO changed that up later enough just to give them the immortal bar there. Anyway, next one is food. So anything that the game generates doesn't have any real world flavor. So anything that, so let's say you've had a hot dog in inventory, hot dog you can eat it, but there's no flavor to it. It just tastes like nothing because it was created from nothing. But if you actually use real world materials to make that hot dog, then the hot dog has flavor. So it takes people away from the game can generate these things for me to I need to make these things for myself. So nice little walk around for that. Fast travel is not a thing in the game. So it was originally in the game, but since everybody was stuck in the game, you can't fast travel around anymore. So people have to either walk around or use mounts. They do later on become part of the story of how people try and fast travel. But at the time it's not possible. So if you look at a character has a race, they also have a class. So then you can pick your race, pick your class, and then it's the build that you kind of going for. You also then have health points and magicka points, which is your resources you pull from. And then you have certain skills that line up with the race that you pick, the class that you pick. You also have a subclass. So you can have a subclass of, which can be crafting, like it can be a glazier, it can be a carpenter, it can be a chef, and anything like that. The main hero, Shiro, he does cartography, or he is a scribe. So anything that is written down, that is his forte. Now you can change your subclass as the time goes along, and they do enter that into later on the story. Anyway guys, that is the main mechanics of Elder Tales in the show Log Horizon. I will be covering a few things later on as well. If you have any ideas for animes that I need to cover in the future, please let me know in the comments down below. If you like the content I'm putting out, please hit that like, subscribe. Take care and be safe. Bye.